Well, this crazy active weather pattern is going to continue through the weekend with multiple rounds of severe weather across the plain states, and I think we've got to watch this system way back up here into the Gulf of Alaska. That could potentially bring severe weather much further east later into next week. But right now we're dealing with this system that's moving into the northern plains. It eventually will start the weekend, and this is our system for Saturday that will kick out into the plains. It's going to bring more severe weather for Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and this time I think the severe weather is going to stretch further to the north and also to the east. Let's move ahead in time, but first I do want to point out, look at this ridging across the northeast. It's been a long time since we've had a weekend with temperatures that have moved up this nice. So we do have some showers around, but temperatures are on the way up. Again, we're watching this system. It'll first impact the Pacific Northwest with some cooler air, some rain showers early next week, and some low snow elevations for the last couple of days here into April across the Pacific Northwest. Across the east, we're still staying nice with this ridge holding tight at least through, I think, the middle to the end of next week. A decent southwest flow, at least west to southwest flow, arguably, for most of the eastern United States. And then there's that cold air aloft moving into the northern plains, also across the Rockies. That will continue to keep the rain and snow showers here. Eventually, that main area of cold air moves up into Canada, but look at this. A broad trough starts to shift off to the east by Friday. I think out ahead of this, there could be some severe weather, especially as we get towards, say, Saturday. If you notice that this trough starting to take a bit of a negative tilt here. Now, out ahead of that, there could be some severe weather in places that we've not really seen it over the last week or so. I think you got to watch the Northeast into parts of Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania. This will be something to keep an eye on heading into next weekend. We've still got a long way before we even get close to that. So let's talk about the short term. This is the severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center for Saturday. A good threat for storms across the same areas pretty much that we're seeing today. In fact, you may say it's expanded a little further now. It's a much wider net with an enhanced area from Iowa down into Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and look, a very large area of a 2 out of 5. That's a slight risk for severe thunderstorms, large hail possible in these areas, and I think there could even be a few more strong tornadoes on Saturday, very much in the same areas that we're seeing today. Maybe not up toward Nebraska as much, into parts of Kansas though, Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, and a lot of this will move off to the east. You're also going to have a lot of wind shear up here just north of Chicago, so into Michigan and Wisconsin. You've got to watch these storms too. Let's look at the future radar and time all this out. Here comes most of the storms that were bringing the tornadoes and the really strong severe weather across Iowa back into Kansas on Friday. That moves off to the east early Saturday morning. Maybe a few rumbles of thunder here up from Madison north into northern Wisconsin. But this up here, while there could be a few strong storms, it's not going to be a widespread severe event. However, we're watching this. Look at all this snow back into the Rockies as we move through the day on Saturday. As this system moves off to the east, we're going to initiate storms into the afternoon and evening hours, especially with that peak heating. So they're going to start to fire here across West Kansas, also western Oklahoma, and then that moves pretty quickly off to the east. A few of these could be supercellular, especially in these areas where we have the highest tornado threat. But look how linear this is. Everything kind of lining up. Again, that doesn't mean we won't see a tornado threat, but strong damaging winds, certainly possible. And then up here where you get most of your helicity, I think you got to watch for some tornadoes, not just late Saturday night, but also into early Sunday morning. Watch these storms as they move off to the north and east. And the wet weather is going to stick around, it looks like, for a couple of days. And then heading into Sunday, the severe threat, not quite as high as what we're seeing on Saturday, but still, it shifts to the east and it's still going to be there as our storm, pretty much at least the center of it, moves up into Canada. That will continue as we head into Monday too. And I don't think this right here looks like a big severe weather outbreak. Most of our energy now kind of dissipating and moving away, but some lingering showers from the Great Lakes south into Kentucky, Tennessee, even into parts of the Northeast. We'll see a few showers here. Across the west, it gets really active with more rain and snow showers moving into the Pacific Northwest. And then here comes our next system. That's going to bring some showers to the northern plains, eventually into the Great Lakes. Again, the difference that we're seeing in my mind is the warm temperatures across the east, thanks to that broad southwest to westerly flow continuing pretty much all next week. Here comes our next trough that's swinging through. That's that trough I showed you guys that I think as we head into next weekend could cause some severe weather, at least something we have to watch here through the Ohio Valley and the Northeast sometime Friday, Saturday into Sunday. Here's a closer look. If you're trying to time your weekend out as far as the rain goes, this is a closer look at the east. We've got these showers moving through Pittsburgh, also into central Pennsylvania as we move into the morning hours. So we're wet from Detroit over to Erie, Pennsylvania. Now the rain moving very close to Buffalo as we move into the afternoon and the evening hours. And it's kind of damp all the way up into parts of southern Canada and then up into Michigan. A very damp day. I think we get a bit of a break here. That will be something to keep an eye on, because if we get the sunshine, that's when you could really destabilize the atmosphere and watch those storms fire up. Across the southeast, looking pretty nice here. Warm, temperatures above average, even into Sunday. Kind of quiet in this area with those lingering showers here across the northeast. And then here comes the threat for those stronger storms as we move into Sunday night, and then we may even see a lingering line of storms heading into early Monday morning for parts of the Mississippi Valley from, well, really pretty much up and down the Mississippi River here. All right, let's move ahead to the west, because this is where things get active too. We've got the snow here across Colorado and the rain as we head into Sunday, and then look, here comes that shot of cold air. That's, again, going to be our system, at least the energy part of it, as it moves east toward next weekend for the east. And look at the snow continuing to go here into the Pacific Northwest. Temperatures below normal, also into parts of Idaho, Montana. We'll see the snow add up into the mountains. Some places could see more than a foot of snow. Snow levels are pretty high, but they will start to come down as we move into the first part of next week. All right, guys, that's all I got for now. If you like this kind of content, if you want to help the channel out, subscribe. It really does help. I appreciate all you who have done so. If you are a subscriber, give it a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.